Weddings expose all. Oh my God.
Now watch his reaction.
This is a stitch, so there's a woman who reacts to this. I'll get into her reaction, but initial thoughts. To recap, bride and groom, wedding day, gonna cut the cake. This is like a little bit of a different kind of like ceremonial type thing though. It looks like they have a sword. So they're like together slicing with a sword. And so I think this is where we're gonna get a little bit swords, men, patriarchy. That's gonna be a whole thing in a minute here. But they have the sword and he gets a little extra with it and kind of destroys the wedding cake. Just a little bit. I really want to see if we can watch the exact moment it all goes down. So let's see if I can slow it down a little bit. Oh, it happens. It looks pretty intentional. You can see it in his eyes here. He's, oh, I'm massacring this shit. But at the same time, there's no trial run of this. There's no dummy cake that you get to practice using the samurai sword on. I don't know how often in day-to-day life dude is using a gigantic sword to cut things. I could see myself being like,
oh, I'm just gonna do it really hard and really fast, and that'll have the best results.
Not realizing that it would collapse it in on itself like a dying star. I personally don't know the cake mechanics, but it definitely looks like he was going into it with some aggression. All right. Oh, yeah, no, he puts his hand on the top of the blade. You can see his forearm going down on top of the cake with it. Okay, he did want to destroy the cake. For a second. What do you guys think? Do you think he intended to destroy the cake? First of all, that's my first question. Do you think he intended to destroy the cake? And two, do you think that it's horrible that he destroyed the cake? On one hand, it's their day, right? It's their wedding day. If they want to destroy their own cake, it's their day. At the same time, we can tell from her reaction that it wasn't. Okay, so I'm glad we slowed this down. She's still laughing. She's, oh my God, I can't believe he's doing this. But he's still got her nervous laughter at least, so this is funny. Man, let the devil on his shoulder win for a minute there. Oh my.
Now watch his reaction.
Oh no. Yeah, you can really see it when it's slowed down. She's literally,
what the is wrong with you?
I can see why she might be a little pissy. That's interesting too, because the question becomes, was that the only dessert? This might be like, I guess, my privilege talking, because I do get invited to a lot of weddings. I've been to a lot these last few years, and all the weddings that I've been to, I feel like the main dessert isn't even the wedding cake. There's what a lot of people are doing now, and again, maybe it's just the people I know, maybe, although it's not like I know an insane amount of rich people. This is just one of the things that people invest a lot of money into, but there's usually another option. But assuming that was the only option, the next devil's advocate question I have is the wedding party entitled to cake? If, hypothetically, this was something that they both thought would be funny, aren't they allowed to? But it also seems like maybe she was, oh, I was hoping you wouldn't do that. That's the reaction I'm feeling. I love Dusty Monk's comment. He didn't follow through. He should have been grabbing handfuls of cake and throwing them at the guests. Literally, they should have started playing the Skyrim, "Donna," and "You shouldn't have come here," and full out brawl. That would have made it okay. No one can disagree on that. He will pay for that cake for the rest of his life. Do you guys want to hear this woman's psychoanalysis of this, though? Or do you want to just get into the comments? I listen to the people. This is still a democracy. As I go into the comments without anybody agreeing on anything yet. We can do both. We can do both. Wedding cakes are so expensive too. Ugh, I hate it. That's a good point. I don't know why I didn't even think of this. Maybe it's because I have so much PTSD because my strongest memory from my wedding week was waiting for it to be over. I loved marrying my husband, but oh my God, did it make me want to recommend eloping to everybody after that. It's so much, but yes, wedding cakes are very expensive. And that was a tall one, and I can tell from everything going on here, these people are not the type to skimp. Yeah, he probably did just recklessly destroy about $500 at least, to be honest. Now that I'm thinking about it from a pricing standpoint, where for some reason I wasn't, I don't know why I wasn't. I'm a little angrier, actually. Oof. I came here for the cringe, baby! The way he destroyed it like a toddler. It pains me to see her face full of joy as they start cutting, and you are so right about his reaction. Don't even file the marriage certificate at this point. But wait, okay, so next question. I think we all agree by now that to some degree, forgivable or not, dude's an asshole for what he did. I think we're all on agreement that behavior was an a-hole move. But is it not marriage worthy? Are we talking annulment? I vote no, personally. Okay? It's the wedding day. You get a little carried away at your wedding. No one got hurt. He can make up $500 to her. If there was no other dessert, that would be really crappy. But if there were other desserts, man, we'll live. We'll get past that. To not marry the man, though, that would be extra to me. That would be a little extra. I'm gonna play her reaction to this, though, because the reaction is also where I think we take it a little too far. Because society has this way of doing things, and this is one thing I talk about all the time on my channel, especially when it comes to analyzing men's behavior, it's the same way a lot of people will go right up to the self-awareness line, but then never cross it into actual progress, is people will walk right up to the, like, acknowledging men's behavior is problematic line, but then, like, way overshoot it. And to a point where it's not just this one isolated thing that this one man did. When's the last time you heard about a man massacring his own wedding cake? This isn't like a common issue, but they're going to take it and they're going to hyperbolize the shit out of it to where it's this patriarchy, toxic masculinity, this is now all men's problem thing. You'll see what I'm talking about.
I'm seeing very few people talking about...
We can change the speed now. In fact, we can make it a little faster. Let's do that.
About what's actually happening in this. His face doesn't suddenly drop because he realizes he destroyed the cake. He clearly destroyed the cake with the first swipe of that giant sword, and we'll come back to how phallic and everything that is.
That's the part that made me start to lose credibility in this creator who's responding. Because if you want me to take seriously the topic of this one man's behavior being an overarching continuation of behaviors that many men are displaying, you're gonna need to do better than starting it off by saying, because Freudian phallic symbols and men love holding things that resemble phallic. That's extreme to me. Okay? Let's not take it that far. Ooh, I really hurt myself doing that voice.
And just straight up toxic masculinity. But we'll come back. We'll circle back to that. His face drops when he hears the reaction of other people. Let's play it back. Here he is, gleefully destroying the cake. Everything's good. Everything's fine. People are reacting with the oohs and ahs, and all of a sudden, face drops. And then that's when he picks up the beer and starts trying to play like, oh, he's so drunk, trying to play it off. Oh, what a big accident. I just was overenthusiastic. What we're seeing in real time is men are being revealed as abusers.
Ooh, that's a lot to unpack there. Okay, so first of all, we get a little bit more context here. She does tell us a little bit about how it's followed up, which is by him grabbing his beer and kind of being like, yikes, I guess I went a little overboard there, and being like, ew. Now, I don't necessarily know that he's grabbing his beer to showcase to people, and it's this guy's fault. I don't know if that was necessarily the reason. I think it was more of a, I feel awkward now and need to stim. That's the way I'm getting it. But yeah, let's get into abuse. This is how you actually discredit the use of the word abuse. This is why it becomes a joke to even talk about this stuff in reality, because you're gonna call everything abuse now. Was that out of pocket? Hell yeah, we agree. Was he being a little bit of an a-hole? Yeah, we all agree.
And they don't want to be exposed, so they start playing into this dumb husband, oh, bumbling idiot role. You guys got to see this in real time. We're going to run it back once more, just a few seconds. It starts out, look, he's gleefully destroying the cake. He's destroying the cake actively. He's not stopping. He's fine. There's nothing wrong with this man. But then he hears the sighs. He's looking around. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. He's picking up the bottle. He's acting ashamed. Oh, he's got to wipe the sweat off his brow. I'm so drunk. How can I save the cake? Oh my goodness, I'm just so flustered. And then he gets off camera very quickly. This is all intentional.
I don't know. To me, it looked like he was bending down to start picking up the things that had fallen, to start working on proactively correcting his mistake. If he wanted to get off camera, first of all, I don't even know that he's aware that he's being filmed or in which direction the camera is. Like, he's not on the news. They're not like, A, camera 2. He doesn't know. He's not that aware of it. And if you're going to duck off camera, you're going to step off to the side. You're not going to crouch low, dude. Let's be for effing real. He's probably just going to pick up the shit that fell down.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
This is so used to intimidating their victims in private.
Oh my God, the psychoanalysis of this.
That they mess around and forget and abuse them in public. And they're like, oh snap, how am I going to preserve my good guy?
But how... You're really gonna argue, oh, him destroying this $500 cake is financial abuse? Dude, okay, y'all, let me be for real with you. Let me just tell you a real life story about me, a real life human story in Human Flaw. 3 years ago now, I bought my first car. It was used, but it was the first time that I bought a car entirely on my own without any help. And I really made sure that it was one that I was going to really like. It was going to be safe for the kids. And 6 days later, I totaled it. And it was my mistake. You know how sometimes you're trying to make a left and there's 2 lanes coming at you, and the person in the lane closest to you, they try to give you one of these? It's okay. Come on in. And ordinarily, I'm always like, you're an idiot, because you can't speak for the lane next to you. You might think there's no one coming, but someone might speed out of there, and now I'm trying to cut across. You don't get to control traffic. But for some reason, this one day, I decided to accept a wave in, and what happened? I totaled my car, and I probably totaled someone else's car, like an absolute a-hole, because I wasn't thinking, because I was just like, I got places to be, and I was being an idiot. And for a hot minute there, we were out a good 10 grand or so, okay? And that was all on me because of my own stupid decisions. That being said, did I do that to financially abuse my husband? Should I be divorced? No, I took care of it entirely on my own. My husband never had to worry about a dime of that. I made sure I took care of my mistake. No one was hurt, all right? I took care of that. But being so real, people do stupid stuff that causes hundreds to thousands of dollars worth of damage in a marriage. You're going to be hard-pressed to get into any long-term relationship ever in your life where your partner does not do something stupid, ignorant, arrogant, or in some capacity just out of pocket that's going to end up costing y'all hundreds to thousands of dollars. You don't get out of it. It's marriage insurance, dude.
Image. So he knew better than to smash the cake in her face. He's very clever because he knows we've already marked that as abusive. He knows nobody's going to think that's a good-natured joke. So instead, he swipes as hard as he can at the cake. He is taking all his frustration out on the cake. He is violent towards this cake. This is what happens when you try to turn a shut-up ring into a marriage, ladies. These guys have been clear. They do not want to marry you, and that's not excuse for behavior. I'm just saying. There were many red flags before this day.
What about anything from the 1 minute clip that we've all watched is making her think that this man didn't want to marry her? Oh my god. What leads her to think that he didn't want to marry her? What makes her think that this cake is a metaphor for what he wants to do to her? Guys just like to blow things up. Guys just like to destroy things. That doesn't mean that that's always their symbol for the people closest to them in their lives, dude. That's unhinged.
But once he's into destroying the cake, he thought everybody was going to laugh along. When he started getting kind of booed and whatnot as the bad guy, he couldn't take it. He's used to being the affable nice guy. So I'm going to flip the script. I'm going to play the victim. This guy is clearly a very mentally agile abuser, and, she better watch out.
How did he even try to play the victim? Again, he gets down, he starts cleaning stuff up, shit. And the crazy thing is this video had no audio. She just literally put words in this man's mouth, literally, started quoting him, saying things that were not verbally said at all.